In a time long past when the earth was young and humanity was taking its first steps, there lived a man named Methuselah. He was a figure of biblical legend, born into a lineage of extraordinary individuals who walked in the presence of God, and through divine ordination, he eventually slew about 900,000 demons. But who was Methuselah, and how did he live so long to accomplish such a great feat, never done before or after him in human history? Methuselah's story began with his great-grandfather, the righteous Enoch, who walked with God. Enoch's unwavering faith and devotion to God set a remarkable example for the following generations. Enoch's life was short by comparison, for God had taken him when he was just 365 years old. However, Enoch's legacy of faith would forever resonate with his descendants. Methuselah's grandfather was the wise and venerable Jared, who continued Enoch's legacy of faith. From Jared, Methuselah learned the tales of his great-grandfather's devotion to God and the incredible journey that had led Enoch to be taken up to heaven. These stories filled young Methuselah with a deep reverence for God and a longing to walk in his presence. Methuselah's life was remarkable not just for its extraordinary length, but also for its divine purpose. As he grew older, Methuselah became known for his unwavering faith and remarkable ability to discern the presence of darkness. During these years, a dark force descended upon the earth, a legion of demons that sought to corrupt and destroy God's creation. One fateful day, Methuselah received a vision from God. In this vision, he saw a magnificent sword shimmering with heavenly light. It was a weapon forged by God himself, a blade imbued with the power to vanquish the forces of darkness. With divine guidance, Methuselah embarked on a perilous journey to retrieve this sacred sword. Methuselah journeyed through treacherous lands for years, facing countless trials and temptations, yet his faith never wavered, and he remained steadfast in pursuing the divine weapon. Finally, after a long and arduous quest, Methuselah found himself standing before the sword embedded in a rock atop a sacred mountain. With unwavering determination, he pulled the sword from its resting place, and it radiated with a brilliant, otherworldly light. Armed with this heavenly weapon, Methuselah returned to the world of men to face the demon horde that threatened humanity. The battle was fierce, but Methuselah's faith in the power of the sacred sword prevailed. He defeated the demons one by one, their dark forms fading into the abyss. Methuselah emerged victorious after a long and exhausting battle, having slain over 900,000 demons. With gratitude, he realized that the sword was not meant for him alone. God's plan was for the sword to be passed down through the generations, a symbol of divine protection and a reminder of the power of faith. To understand the origin of the demons that Methuselah confronted, we must first delve into the ancient biblical texts and the accounts passed down through generations. We will also look at other ancient traditions and folklore, such as the legend of Ben Sira and the Talmudic archives. But let's visit the pages of the scriptures first. According to the book of Genesis, after the fall of Adam and Eve from grace in the Garden of Eden, the world became tainted by sin and corruption. The descendants of Adam and Eve multiplied, but so did their wickedness. The wickedness of humanity grew to such proportions that it grieved the heart of God, and he regretted creating humanity. During this time of moral decay and depravity, the fallen angels, sometimes called Watchers or Nephilim, descended to earth. These angels, led by the rebel angel Azazel, lusted after human women and took them as wives. Their unholy unions gave birth to a race of giants and abominable beings, the Nephilim. Enoch, the great-grandfather of Methuselah, had a profound and unique connection with God. He was chosen to receive divine revelations and prophecies that foretold the consequences of humanity's sin and the impending flood that would cleanse the earth. Enoch's prophecies were a dire warning of the impending judgment of God. Enoch also received insight into the origins of the fallen angels and the Nephilim as he walked with God. These angels had descended to earth, corrupting its inhabitants and teaching them forbidden knowledge. Their offspring, the Nephilim, were monstrous beings who wrought havoc upon the world. Enoch's prophecies, recorded in the book of Enoch, detailed the impending judgment of God and the cataclysmic flood that would cleanse the earth of sin and evil. He spoke of a righteous remnant, those who would remain faithful to God amidst the chaos, and how they would be spared from the flood's devastation. Methuselah, raised in the shadow of these prophecies, was imbued with the knowledge of his great-grandfather's revelations. He knew that his life had a divine purpose and was destined to confront the darkness that had plagued humanity for generations. As Methuselah grew, so did his conviction to fulfill Enoch's prophecy. He understood that the demons, born of the Nephilim and their fallen angel progenitors, were a manifestation of the evil that Enoch had foreseen. Armed with God's sacred sword bestowed upon him, Methuselah embarked on his epic quest to rid the world of these malevolent beings and end the reign of darkness. His actions were a testament to his unwavering faith and a fulfillment of the prophecies passed down through his lineage. Methuselah's life and his battle against the demons were intrinsically linked to the divine revelations of Enoch. They represented a continuation of God's plan to restore righteousness and purity to a world tainted by sin and corruption. In this way, Methuselah's life became a bridge between the prophecies of Enoch and the cataclysmic events of the Great Flood, which would soon reshape the world and offer humanity a fresh start. His legacy would serve as a reminder of the enduring power of faith and the fulfillment of God's divine purpose in the face of darkness and despair. Bible scholars believe Methuselah died 7 days before the flood occurred and was equally mourned for this period of days. But this belief is challenged by the fact that the people of Noah's time, otherwise called the pre-flood era, were given to excess merriment and idolatry, which explains why God sent the flood to wipe the earth clean, Genesis 6. Simply put, these people couldn't have had time to mourn the death of Methuselah. In other narratives, otherwise known as the non-canonical or scriptural references, the story of how Methuselah came to battle the demons is represented in the oral traditions of the Medes, Persians, Talmud, the ancient legend of Ben Sira, and the Jewish folktales. Some of these accounts collectively hold that long before the birth of Seth and after the creation of Adam and Eve, the world was still young and its mysteries were not yet fully known. In this time, Adam and Eve lived together in the Garden of Eden, where they were bound by love and obedience to God. Yet as the years passed, something stirred within Adam's soul, a restlessness that he could not understand. One fateful night, Adam ventured into the wilderness beyond the garden, seeking solitude and answers to the questions gnawed at his heart. During this time of separation from Eve, lasting 130 years, Adam's path crossed with a being of darkness, Lilith. Lilith was not of Adam's rib as Eve was, but a creature of the night, born from chaos and rebellion. Originally believed to be Adam's first wife, the one created by God in Genesis chapter 1, she was fiercely independent and refused to submit to Adam's authority. Hence they separated, and God had to create another woman, Eve, from Adam's rib, Genesis chapter 2. However, the meeting with Lilith was unexpected, and the forbidden allure between them was undeniable. In the shadows of the wilderness, Adam and Lilith gave in to their desires, resulting in a union destined to bring forth darkness. With her demonic nature, Lilith gave birth to a brood of evil beings, the first of the demons that would later haunt humanity. These demons, born of the union between Adam and Lilith, embodied chaos and temptation. They roamed the earth, sowing discord and corruption wherever they went. Their dark presence would eventually come to threaten humanity's existence. As the demons multiplied and the world descended further into chaos, Adam's separation from Eve ended. He reunited with his beloved wife, and together they sought forgiveness from God for their transgressions. The demons born of Adam and Lilith's forbidden union would become a pervasive force of evil, threatening humanity's very existence. It was these demons that Methuselah, guided by divine purpose and wielding the sacred sword of God, would one day confront and ultimately vanquish. In this narrative, the separation of Adam and Eve, Adam's encounter with Lilith, and the birth of the demons serve as a cautionary narrative. It reminds us of the consequences of giving in to forbidden desires and straying from righteousness. Methuselah's battle against these demonic forces symbolizes humanity's ongoing struggle against the darkness born of its flawed choices, a battle that continues today. Methuselah's work with God continued as he guided his descendants through faith and righteousness. He became a beacon of hope and wisdom in a world of challenges and temptations. His long life allowed him to witness the growth of his family and the continuation of his forefathers' legacy. Methuselah continued to walk with God, praying and seeking his guidance. Finally, at the remarkable age of 969, Methuselah's time on earth ended. Yet his legacy lived on, for he had not only passed down a legacy of faith, devotion, and resilience, but also the sacred sword, crested with the name of God. Bible scholars and historians have traced the transcendence of this sword down to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. However, its location and what happened to the sword after Jacob is unclear. The story of Methuselah teaches us that faith can overcome the darkest of challenges. It reminds us that we can find the strength to overcome even the most formidable adversaries with divine guidance. Methuselah's life is a testament to the enduring power of faith, the importance of passing down our values to the next generation, and the extraordinary things that can be achieved when one walks with God. Remember to subscribe to our channel if you found this content valuable. We'll see you in the next one.